The online e-learning modules show you how to use the Rainfall to Pasture Growth Outlook tool and understand main concepts and outputs used in the tool. Yackandandah is located in the temperate highlands of Victoria. Looking at the annual patterns for Yackandandah, we can see that rainfall is reliably low in summer, as the red and green lines are closer together in the summer months, and higher, but more variable, in winter when the lines are further apart. The black line, which is the median, peaks in winter with a build-up in autumn and a slowdown in spring, typical of the winter-dominant rainfall pattern of this part of the country. This is supported by the monthly rainfall table, which states there's a 50-50 chance of getting at least 15 millimetres, half of the 30 millimetre median rainfall, in late summer, and there's an 85% chance of getting at least 50 millimetres in July. Reliability remains around 80% until the end of spring. The soil moisture pattern follows the trend in the rainfall pattern in summer, but peaks over winter and early spring as the higher rainfall recharges the soil profile and the lower temperatures lessen redraw. As all three lines meet at the top of the graph, producers in this area can reliably expect a fully charged soil moisture profile at least 8 years in 10. The pasture growth pattern clearly responds to the rainfall and soil moisture patterns. In summer, when soil moisture is low and temperatures are high, the pasture growth follows the rainfall pattern. There's a slight boost in growth in autumn, while rainfall increases and temperatures remain warm. When temperatures drop in winter, plant growth is low, even though there's plenty of water. As temperatures rise again in spring, the excellent water reserves means plant growth increases dramatically, only dropping off once the moisture in the soil profile is drained. So, in Yackandandah, spring represents the most productive period for reliable pasture growth and winter the least productive. There's a short, less reliable growth period in autumn. One Yackandandah producer, on realising from the graph that spring pasture growth was generally very reliable, changed from a winter lambing system to a spring lambing system. She no longer needs to supplementary feed her lactating ewes over winter. She can run more ewes over winter because they are dry, and no longer finishes her lambs. As a result, her profits have increased significantly. These charts describe what's historically likely to happen, but what's actually happening this year. In mid-April, when this analysis was done, the pasture growth rate is excellent. Yackandandah has experienced above-average rainfall over the past 9 months, and well above average rainfall since January the 1st, resulting in an almost fully charged soil profile. This suggests producers may see a slight rise in pasture production this autumn. This would be useful to offset the lack of production over the reliably poor winter months, enabling stock to maintain condition until spring. That's the theory. Let's see what the outlook says. Last spring saw average to above average conditions, but rainfall and soil moisture have been trending slightly below average since then, with an exceptional dry spell in summer, not entirely offset by 3 above average rainfall events. Exceptional rainfall in March and April has seen conditions return to average, which has been reflected in the pasture growth of the past few weeks. Will this continue? The red shading above the pink and grey in the outlook graphs show that years like this one have a slightly higher probability of wetter conditions and a slightly lower probability of drier conditions compared to other years. So this suggests average to above average pasture growth could be expected over the next 3 months. This concludes the Case Studies module. For more information regarding specific resources available through the Rainfall to Pasture Growth Outlook tool, refer to the other modules in the Rainfall to Pasture Growth Outlook tool e-learning series, or visit rainfall.mla.com.au/help.